is going on, New York Giants fans? It's game day. Welcome back to the channel. If you guys haven't already, hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you know when a live stream pops video drops. Appreciate you all coming back. This is going to be a short video, a very short video. Giants have made some moves on the offensive line. We'll talk about that in just a second. It has to do with Shane Lemieux, Nick Gates, Billy Price, all these other guys. We'll get to that in just a second, but I do want to make a little bit of an announcement. So I'm not going to be streaming the game tonight, but I would appreciate it if some of you guys join me on the Ravon Sports app. Now, they're not sponsoring me. They're not paying me to promote them. I'm doing an act of kindness, because I want to help them out in their business, stuff like that. So Ravon Sports app is basically a chatting app while games are being live streamed. You can complain about calls and stuff like that, So basically, take it as like a YouTube chat, just no live stream. You're just chatting with like fans and stuff like that, and I find it to be better than Twitter at first hand. I've seen a couple of chats they've done already. I find it to be better than Twitter because Twitter you get into fights with people easily. If you don't have the right take in terms of game reactions and stuff like that. So, though it may seem like boring at first, I don't know, there's no live stream, whatever. I'll be on there. There's a couple Washington football content creators on there. They're going to be texting throughout the stream like I am. Please join me on the Ravon Sports app. Probably around 8 o'clock, 8:15, I'll be on there. And, you get to chat with me and stuff like that. So, I just want to help out Brittany and James, the people who do run the Ravon Sports app. And it'd be nice if you help them out, too. It's totally free. There's no payments and stuff like that. So that's just something I wanted to get off my chest right away. Now let's talk about the New York Giants and the O-line moves. So when I was in college earlier today, the New York Giants announced, or somebody found out or whatever, that Billy Price was going to start at center tonight and Nick Gates was moving to left guard. Now, shortly thereafter, and I'll explain my thoughts in a second, shortly thereafter, the New York Giants put Shane Lemieux on IR and activated Matt Skura to the active roster, and also C.J. Board and Chris Myrick. Now, why did I just mention them separately, meaning Skura from Myrick and Board? Because Board and Myrick are just getting called up to the active roster for today's game. They're going to go on the practice squad after the game. I think Skura is actually going to be the one staying. So, he's going to be on the active roster for right now. Lemieux's going on IR, so they need an extra interior offensive lineman. Just some stats real quick. C.J. Board, he had 2 kick returns in the Broncos game, 66 yards. His longest was a 38-yard return, 1 reception for 6 yards. You look at Skura going back to last season with the Ravens, 1 sack and 10 pressures allowed, but in the preseason with the Dolphins, he did not allow a pressure, a quarterback hit, a hurry, a sack, so he was pretty good in pass protection. Now you'll take a look at Chris Myrick, had 3 games with Miami in 2020. I think he caught 3 passes in the preseason, and is the 2019 undrafted free agent out of Temple. He was teammates with Quincy Roche, so that's something of note. And going back to last season also as well for the New York Giants, Nick Gates, no sacks, 16 pressures allowed. Shane Lemieux, 4 sacks and 25 pressures allowed. Billy Price, over the course of his career, 41 pressures allowed, 5 sacks. Started 10 games in 2018, 8 in 2019, and 1 in 2020. And he's just known as a better run blocker than pass protector. So let me give my thoughts real quick. I'm kind of optimistic about this. Optimistic on the good side and the bad side. Why am I feeling not so great about this in terms of the bad side? Here's what I'm going to say. We obviously saw how different players at left guard impacted Andrew Thomas last year. That's my concern. Because Will Hernandez and him couldn't work together. Will Hernandez was just bad last year before the COVID, or he wasn't playing good or whatever. And Andrew Thomas, his development wasn't, going anywhere the first 7 games of the season. Insert Shane Lemieux, Thomas gets better and better every week. So, Nick Gates hasn't played guard in, I believe, 2 years. He hasn't taken reps there, really. I mean, I'm not at practice. I don't know. But the last time he took guard reps in a game was 2019 against the Miami Dolphins. So you kind of have to think there, is there going to be rust? Is there not going to be rust? And to note, Billy Price, I did state he was a better run blocker than pass blocker, but he's only had 4 practices with the New York Giants that were padded, I believe. And, he's been in practice this week, snapping the ball, practicing at center and stuff, which is good, but I just want the chemistry to be there because it's not like we're playing the Falcons or the Texans or some of these other teams. We're playing the Washington football team with an extremely good defensive line. So the offensive line is going to mean volumes, or I should say their production is going to mean volumes today, and we really need that to click. In terms of being optimistic on the good side about it, Nick Gates, he was good at guard in 2019. Billy Price is a better run blocker. They didn't start Bradison. They didn't opt to do that because they realized, I guess, that the run game was not getting going. And that was a big thing for the New York Giants last week. They obviously had the passing game going, and pass protection held up pretty well for our offensive line standards. But the running game, man, 2.3 yards per carry is just not going to get it done. But that's pretty much it for what I have for you guys today other than the podcast episode. Please check that out. Join me on the Rave On Sports app. Those are my thoughts on the offensive line moves. Hope Shane Lemieux gets better, man. I mean, this patella tendon injury, you can't be screwing with it. And leave it to him and his knee to rest. Because, we don't need to rush him back. Because this is an injury that could potentially end your career. And Shane Lemieux, it's not like, oh, he's a special teamer or this, that, and the other thing. No, he was showing some progress in those, I think it was like 25 snaps against the Broncos. So hopefully he gets better. Hopefully maybe he's back this season. It's very unlikely at this point. But in terms of what we have right now, it's going to be a turning point, bad or good, on how this depth plays. How is Billy Price going to play? Is he going to play better than Ben Bradison? Is he going to play better than Gates was at center? There's going to be a lot of questions to be answered tonight, especially with this offensive line. But guys, peace out. See you later. Stay cool. Go Giants.